Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live, episode 373. And we're not quite in full lockdown today, but I think that's possibly coming really soon. So I thought that I would just talk a little bit about the difference between marketing and selling. And, it might seem really obvious, but I know for some of you who are you might be in the position where you're like, well, I don't know quite what to do. And you might even be starting out. So today's The Coffee Run is really, hi Jeanette, is really geared for those of you who perhaps don't have anything to sell just yet. Just moving my water out the way so I can move that. I think I like that lighting a bit better. I think that's better. So the difference between marketing and selling. Selling is obviously an exchange of money for a service that you provide. And at the moment, I know that there are a lot of you who are feeling like you're not quite sure whether I've had conversations with people, with you guys, don't know if you should be selling, don't know what you should be doing. Do you feel a moral aversion to selling? And the truth of the matter is that for some of you, you're not going to be selling. It might be inappropriate. For instance, if you're doing like in-person training sessions, you're not going to be promoting and selling that. That would be ridiculous. So, we're all smart humans. So the sales side is where, and particularly online, it's where you've got a very specific thing that goes through, where people are going through a process of learning to know you, like you, trust you in a very condensed period of time. And then they're going into a sales conversation with you through a sales page. So sales can be completed in a multitude of different ways. You can make sales using a sales page. You can get on the phone with people. Historically, you might have a coffee with someone, or you might run a live event or something like that. The thing that you always want to be doing when you're selling is showing people why your product or service is going to help change their lives. How is it going to improve their lives? How is it going to help them get more love, have more time, do more of what they love to do? What problems is it going to solve for them? So you need to know very, very clearly. I'm just going to draw a diagram on the back of that piece of paper, and it's covered, so I can't do that. So if you imagine a big V, right? So you've got a big V that you might draw on a piece of paper. In fact, I'd encourage you to do that. And on the left-hand side of the V, you'll draw a sad face. And on the top right-hand side of the V, draw a happy face. So over here on the left, it's where they are now, right? So they maybe they're not feeling loved, maybe they're feeling unappreciated, maybe they're feeling bored, maybe they're feeling technologically challenged, or not confident, not feeling like they know what to say, like all of that kind of stuff. So what they really want is they want that problem solved. Good morning, Gerda. They need that problem solved. So we've got this really big gap, right, between where they are now and where they want to be. So your sales process, whether it's on a sales page or whether it's on the phone, however it is that you're doing it, needs to demonstrate how you can improve that person's life by taking them from this side of the V to this side of the V, to the other top tip. So if you're listening to the audio version of this, just as a replay, for those of you who are listening to the replay of this, I'm drawing a big V in the air. You could draw it on your piece of paper. So a sales process is really about establishing the need for them to fix this big problem, for them to close, to help that you're the person to help them close that gap. Hi, Kelly. Now, here's the thing, you guys. Your marketing is actually no different. It's just that once you've demonstrated how to take them from here over to here, it still has to be relevant. Your marketing still has to solve problems. It still has to help them see that you know your stuff. It helps them to see that you're personable, that they can like you, that they might want to do business with you, perhaps at some point in time in the future. But the only difference between the marketing and the sale is that when you're marketing yourself and you're building your brand, which every single one of you should be doing right now, you don't have to sell. But you have to be marketing yourself if you want to be relevant in, now, next week, next month, in 3 months' time when shit finally settles down, here's hoping. So the thing that you want to be thinking about is like the only difference is that when you help them to close that gap, you don't then say, okay, so the way I'm going to help you with this is by buying my program, signing up for my service, buying my product. You're not going to do that if you're not selling right now. But you can say to them in your marketing, hey, I know you've got this problem and, this is what you can do to move forward, to improve your life, to be less bored, to feel more focused, to feel less overwhelmed, to feel calm, to feel like you've got some independence, to feel like I've got a unicorn piece of hair sticking out. Look, it won't go back in the thing. It's really irritating. Unicorn! It was like squirrel, got distracted by the squirrel. So your marketing should still help them go from here to here. And you can give them maybe 3 steps that they could do right now, 2 steps that they can do right now, 1 thing that they could do right now that takes them from that side of that big ass gap over to the other side of the big ass gap and essentially closes it for them. So in your blogs, with your live streams, everything that you do, that is something you should be doing. So how do you do that? I would encourage you to sit down and write out all of the problems that your people have. Okay? Now, if you don't have a business right now and you're looking at building your personal brand, then that's freaking awesome. Keep doing that. What I want you to look at is who would you like to be helping? Who would you like to be serving? And what are their big problems that they're having right now? Not just take the corona out of it, right? I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about that. So think about in other areas in which you help. So if you're a health coach, it's about people feeling perhaps like restricted with how they can work out at home or how they can eat at home. So helping them to make the best choices, helping them to feel really good. It could be a corona cleanse where at home you're helping them to, work through whatever it is that they've got in their pantry. Maybe they're feeling overwhelmed with how they can entertain their children. Maybe it's how they can still practice their therapy while being at home and not being in the clinic. So, there's a bunch of different things that you can look at with your people and go, all right, well, these are all of their problems. Write them all down. And I can guarantee you that if you look at the different areas in their life, that you would be able to come up with 50 problems really freaking simply. Really, really simply. If you look at the problems that they're facing in their social life right now, well, your social life is probably in person, non-existent. You can look at their relationships, relationships are under pressure at the moment. Given that, some relationships are under pressure at the moment. Some are thriving with being, cooped up all the time, which is fine. Then you've also got your money, business, finance, health, fitness. What's their connection to soul or universe or God like? What's their faith like right now? And so if you can come up with maybe 6 to 9, between 6 and 9 problems for each of those different areas, you're going to well and truly exceed 50 problems. Okay? So now, if you think about it, one of the things that you could consider is that, there's a topic for every day for the next 50 days for you to talk about. There's possibly 50 free things that you could create to help move people from one side to the other. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you. You might just pick one out of each of those areas. And then there's, 6 or 9, 6, 7, 8, 9 free things that you could create. So the thing that you've got to think about is how can you just continue to add value to your market? Right? That's what marketing is. It's not only about selling, and it's certainly not always about selling. When you pick up the phone, you are marketing yourself. When you show up on Facebook Live, whether you're selling or not, you are marketing yourself. When you say hello to the post person or the delivery person who's, risking their health to deliver your online package to you, that's you marketing yourself. The way that you show up and lead people online is you marketing yourself. You have got 0 excuses right now to not be marketing yourself. You don't have to be selling, but you sure as shit better be marketing. So there you go. Kelly, my live tomorrow is going to be drinking a Corona and talking about the Corona cleanse. Oh, I love it. I was thinking more about like a juice cleanse because, but maybe the Corona cleanse. I don't know. I think that's really cool. And you could do it from the trailer instead of being in Bali. Doesn't that suck? Oh my gosh. I also have to tell you something really funny. So my husband is known for his booming voice. I too am known for my booming voice. So I grew up on a really big block of land. Well, it felt really big to me. It's like 2.5 acres. And the distance from the back of the property to the front of the property was really great. But I could stand at the back of our property and I could yell to the front and have my parents in the house or my brother in the house. They could hear me, right? I've got a very, very big set of lungs and a really good vocal projection. And it's really quite funny because when I'm talking on here, it's like I'm projecting into here. So I tend to talk a little bit more loudly. So that's really funny. So Dom brought all of his stuff home from the office yesterday and he's set up an office in the other side of the house, right? Like right over the other side of the house. And I honestly thought that he was just in this room, like maybe 10 meters away from me. He's so loud. I'm like, holy shit. How the hell am I going to survive? But what's even funnier is that I remember a few years ago, I was like, oh, we could work. It'd be so fun to work together in the same office at home. And, in my head, it's like overlooking the beach and, he's trading shares or doing something fabulous. And I'm writing a book or doing something else really fabulous. And, so funny. It was like, there is no fucking way. If he's on the phone, there is no way that I would be able to share an office with him. I think we would both be, it would just not work. So really, really interesting. I never really thought about it. I mean, he's been home on the phone before, but this is extra loud. It's just really quite fascinating. And also really interestingly, I'm writing my book and I'll sometimes have, chapter 5 is nearly done. You'll be very happy to hear. I'll often have my music going in the background, just whatever. I don't usually have to consider anybody else when I'm in the house. And so sometimes I'll have like the music really loud and I'll be tapping away and I'm like dancing in my chair and I'm doing the things that I'm doing. And my gosh, I'm really selfish because I don't have to consider anybody else. And now we have to consider other people. It's going to be really tough, you guys. I don't know how we're going to survive. No, just joking. We'll be fine. First world problems, right? We're being asked to stay home and do nothing. So that's me for today. Oh, sneak peek. I have to tell you. Oh, thank you, Jeanette. She said, thank you for showing up. You do really have a good voice. Well, I really appreciate that. And thank you. Thank you so much. I've been thinking about this a fair bit with, I really take my role as a leader really quite seriously. Not in the sense of like I'm a leader, I have to do all the right things. But I've been really thinking about, how can I help you guys more? How can I serve you more? And we've got the isolation circuit breaker calls, which are a whole bunch of fun. And, obviously I'm still doing these, I'm writing the book, I'm doing all of this other stuff. But what I've heard, what I've seen sort of happening around the traps is that some of you just really want some structure. So I have done, for years, I've been running courses on how to start an online business, how to run workshops, how to run webinars, how to start podcasts, how to like self-healing sessions. I've done meditations. I've done clearing work, like energetic clearing work, marketing training, all like so much. And I've got all of these courses sitting in a membership site. And I was talking to Jo Muirhead, who you all know, I know you all know, one of my best friends. I was chatting with her and I'm like, you know what? I think I've got all of these sitting there. I'm going to open it up to people. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do an all access pass. This will never be repeated ever again because it's ridiculous. I'm going to open it up and you've got access to everything for $99 a month. These are courses that have been sold literally for $12,000, $1,500, $2,500, $500, $200. There's like so much in there. You could stay for a month, download it all, and then leave if you really wanted to. It's the all access pass. I will be opening it up for you guys to register. You're crazy if you don't buy this shit. It's like literally how to build your funnels, how to do your ads, how to do absolutely everything that you could possibly need to take your business online is in there. So I'm going to, I haven't done the sales pages yet. I haven't done anything else yet. It's going to be $99 just for you to go in and get it. Don't jump on it. It's crazy to not. There'll be a VIP option at $199, which will include a call with me each month. I'm not obviously not doing it to make money. It's just doing it to help you guys. So, although I will be making money, but it's not like anyway, I know that you guys get what I mean by that, because it should probably have a couple of zeros on the end. But anyway, just want to help. So I will share that with you a little bit later on. I'm just going to go and do all the infrastructure for that. Coming your way. It's going to be freaking awesome. And there's actually still some other things that need to get added in there. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Okay, I think that's all I needed to let you know. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I ran the first training. Video Rockstar will not be included in that, FYI. I did start running that yesterday though, and oh my God, it was so amazing. If you've got questions about that, make sure you let me know. But yes, that's that, my friends. So any questions you have for me, make sure you hit me up. Super happy to answer anything that's going on for you. We've got the circuit breaker, isolation circuit breaker call happening at 1:00 with Joe and I. Come on and say, hey, come and maybe let's not talk about Corona, because it's really fucking boring. It's a boring conversation. I suggested to Joe yesterday that we should play charades. She didn't reply to that message. We might take that as a no. But we could play it tomorrow, because we don't have Joe tomorrow with us. Oh, yeah, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to be live with you tomorrow for that either. But I will see you. If I don't see you before, I'll see you at 11 o'clock tomorrow for the Coffee Run Live. Keep your eyes open for all access. And you guys rock. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.